Hey everyone, I'm Jake Deerstein, the Chief Revenue Officer at Optismo Technologies. Today we're going to actually be hosting our first installment of a new series that we're going to call A Few Words With. That is not what we're going to call it. New video series that we're going to call A Word With. So we're going to be talking to industry vets, people around the affiliate performance space. Today I'm actually going to be speaking with Leroy Bricker and Josh Bender of B2 Direct. And I really hope you all enjoyed this video that we're going to put together, and check us out for more content. Thanks. Leroy, I don't know that much about your backstory. I know you've been around for a while, but what led you into this world that we're in right now, this performance space?
I was 23, 24 at the time, and I saw this ad for this internet marketing company in Harrisburg called Web Clients. And I was also interviewing at AT&T Wireless, and I thought it was going to be the coolest thing in the world to get a job at AT&T Wireless because I was going to get a free cell phone. Yeah. So, long story short, AT&T Wireless fell through. I started at Web Clients. It's when they first just started their affiliate marketing department. So I was affiliate marketing manager number 2. They hired 2 of us. So I got left in 2007. After I left there, I worked for a couple mailers, and then started my first company with some old partners. Was there for 2 years, and then started B2. Really, once I got into it and realized how cool internet marketing was, I was all in. I'm all in. And then when I realized you could actually make some real money doing it, that's when it got really exciting. And just over the years, just how it's evolved has been the real exciting thing for me.
Are you both from Central PA, originally, born and bred?
Yeah, I grew up South Central PA and moved up to the Harrisburg area and been there ever since.
Nice. So Central?
Yeah. I grew up north of Harrisburg, so people probably know State College more than anything, and so an hour from where Penn State plays. So
my mom is a Penn State graduate.
There you go. Yeah.
And what led you? We know each other from iDrive, of course, and it's been a decade or so, I think, that was since we first met. Right. But was that your first gig? Was iDrive, or what kind of led you into the space?
Sure. Out of college, started in retail for a sporting goods company in Philadelphia. It's just regional. It's called Modell Sporting Goods, and didn't take very long to realize that retail is very strenuous. You don't, holidays, time off. But always had a passion for marketing. I knew I wanted to get into marketing. Central Pennsylvania is not really a breeding ground for a bunch of marketing kind of things, but there was. It's interesting. He came from Web Clients originally, and then I actually interviewed at Web Clients and iDrive, and decided to go to iDrive when Leroy was there. So originally my start was with Leroy, and then we had a little bit of a break in between. But yeah, kind of like his story. It's to try and find a cool marketing place in Central PA. It was didn't really think that was going to happen, but once you learn about affiliate marketing, and which has become this little breeding ground for affiliate marketing with a couple companies in Harrisburg, it's very interesting for sure.
That's awesome. Great. What would you say about your day? What gets you out of the bed in the morning? What gets you excited about coming into work? Is it new offers? Is it new tech? Is it what kind of keeps you plugging along and wanting to keep pushing things forward?
Over the last 4 years or so, originally when we started the company, it was mostly just a network and an affiliate. We were mailing and doing those kinds of things, and then we started developing some of our own sites and started marketing those and optimizing those. I know for me, that's one of the most exciting things that we do, and just hearing the ideas from the team about what we should do next, how we should optimize differently. That's an exciting thing for me.
The dynamics of this space are always changing. You always have to have your foot on the gas, figuring out what's going to be next. You guys obviously are aware of the email changes, and then you had push at one point and SMS, and there's so many variabilities that you're always just trying to keep up with. So I like it. To me, I think it's just trying to always adapt and stay one step ahead or keep up with the industry, because if not, you're going to fall behind, you're going to lose in this game. So it's our whole team, including our owners, are very hands-on every day. Everybody comes in that door looking to win and get better. Yeah. So our sites is part of that, but also we're always trying to evolve our channel mix more and more because of the strictness and changes with AI and all these things that are changing things. So I think it's just kind of supporting one another that gets you going.
Yeah, sure. along those lines, what do you guys think are like the biggest challenges coming down the pipe?
Compliance. I mean, just with everything with the FCC that's going to be going into effect later this year, there's going to be a lot of changes. Because we own sites, we're going to have to make sure we're compliant with that ruling, and then all of our advertisers and companies and affiliates that we work with, they're all going to have to kind of fall in line as well. So, I mean, I know that's been a big thing here the last 7-8 months ever since I came down, and then just like pivoting. Before we were very email heavy, but with like Josh said, with everything with email delivery being difficult, we've had to pivot on the network side and go towards more like social affiliates and other affiliates with like their own websites to work with path traffic. So pivoting is another thing we have to do.
Yeah, I think it's always kind of staying ahead of that next channel, like, or will things pop back up? Whether it's going to be native or Google Ads. I think SMS, it seems like some guys are the people that do it right. In the same way with mailers, it seems like the guys that can keep a good consistency, keep a good pace, do things the right way, not try to get greedy or aggressive, are the ones that kind of keep it rolling. And so, feeding those parts of the business are probably the biggest thing. And then I think it's more based on categories. The economy, inflation, obviously refi rates are really high. Talking to some people even here at the show, the election, we do a good bit in social right now. Like, social is going to be very, very hard because it's going to be getting bought up and get very expensive during the election comes. So that's also, like we talked about, what gets you going. It's like every day is different. Like you don't have to worry about coming in and doing the same routine. You're gonna have something different every day.
Kind of the great thing and the biggest real challenge, of our space. And even we see similar things, but in what we do, we're so niche in just the service we provide, and it's so focused on this one channel of email. We still kind of have to combat those things too, because our clients do, right? So they're coming to us with, hey, we need to utilize data in this different way. We're going through something right now with your team and trying to provide them with actually some custom reporting that I know you guys want to see. And hey, we need to be able to see this, and how is this being moved? And it is interesting. This space never stays still very long. So it's always jumping all over the place, keep on your toes. 100%, absolutely. How many ASEs is this for you guys? Like, I know we've all been around the space for a little while.
It's been so many. I mean, I've been going to like 2 a year for however long, so it's a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm up around 24, 25, somewhere in there, because we had obviously a year or two off with COVID, right? So we didn't do anything for a little while. You got to be up there.
12, 13 years in the space, so however many affiliate summits that is, I don't know, but it's a good bit.
You just start seeing a lot of our same people, which is great, fantastic. But I think sometimes the opportunities to expand business can sometimes be constrained by staying sort of in your sphere and in your comfort zone, right? So, yeah, I'm curious, because we start to look at some vertical specific stuff and trying to maybe become sort of tip of the spear with brands and advertisers. And because, we're very sort of referral heavy on relying on our network partners and our agency partners to send us advertisers that they work with. So how do we start getting more out there and trying to help more brands into the space, from a compliance angle? Hey, we can help you alleviate these certain concerns up front, and then introduce you to the traffic sources, like yourselves, and kind of start bringing them into the fold that way. But it's all challenging. I mean, the sales side is always different stuff coming up. Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys being on that frontier, because I feel like it's, from being on the sales side and talking to advertisers, and I tell my reps, like, the biggest thing that people are always worried about is managing their brand, keeping up with compliance, because obviously most of those guys do other marketing already, and that's the major hurdle and roadblock is like, we don't want to tarnish what we already have here. How do we go about it? Like, it's always been, but I feel like more than ever, like, brands are super sensitive and super tight on all those things. So, like, having guys like yourselves and Optismo out there kind of like going to bat for affiliate and saying, hey, email can be clean if it's done right, and we have the stuff to help you do that. It's definitely a huge help for our industry.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting sort of dynamic, right? Like a relationship, sort of symbiotic between your vendors and your sales team and whatnot. And everybody's got to be kind of on the same page and have the same sort of messaging out there to try to bring more into the fold for everybody, create more sustainable sort of ecosystem for all of us, right? What do you guys get into outside of work? I have a couple of ideas. I know you're a girl dad.
Correct. Yeah. So most of my hobbies stay in my shed. Yeah. I spend a lot of time with them. Our big endeavor this year has been bike riding because they're 4 and 5, and I thought it was going to take a couple months for them to learn how to pedal their own bikes. They use they're called Strider balance bikes for a while, and then so it seemed like they actually already had balance, no pedals, and then so it made the pedal bike super easy. Like they picked it up in 2 days. I had to go buy another bike because they both got it right away, and we just had them out in the trail a week or two ago, and they did 3 miles on their own. But the 4-year-old, that's a lot of pedaling. She looks like a little hamster going around with it, spinning the wheel so much. Like 3 miles is a lot when your wheels are only a 14-inch bike. That's a lot of pedaling. So,
Leroy, I also hear you're a bit of a sneakerhead these days.
Yes, I watched a show on Netflix about 3 or 4 years ago. It was about this vintage shop in Tucson, Arizona, and it got me back into Jordans again. I loved Jordans as a kid. And so now I'm a bit out of control right now, as my wife would say, when it comes to buying some shoes. So,
What's your favorite pair you got, and what's your grail?
I don't know if I have the grail yet, but I love any Jordan 4s. Like the Jordan 4s to me, they're comfortable. Like they have so many different colorways to them. Yeah, they're great. And a lot of the Travis Scotts that are out now, they're pretty cool. They're the aftermarket prices on those are absurd, but there's some pretty cool shoes.
Yeah, heck yeah. Cool. Yeah, I've been into it for a few years. 4s, honestly, that was the first thing that got me into it. Was my ex-wife, for my 30th birthday, so this was 15 years ago, bought me a pair of cement 4s, the all white with the gray speckled plastic pieces on them, because when I was growing up, I wanted a pair so bad. We didn't have the money, so I got like the knockoff British Knight version.
Okay.
But I always carried that with me, and I'm like, I'm gonna get these damn shoes someday. So she ended up getting them for me for my birthday, and that just opened up the floodgates.
Each year the new Jordan would come out. Like you, we really couldn't afford them, but my mom would take me to Foot Locker and buy a pair. And wouldn't tell Dad, because if she'd tell Dad, he would be like extremely mad because he knew that we couldn't afford them. But she would do that for me. So.
It's part of the wonderful thing of growing up, right? It's that you gotta kind of be fortunate enough to do some of those things that like when we were kids, maybe just didn't have the chance to.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Well, that's great, guys. No, this is awesome. We're good.